It's with great pleasure that I welcome back Dr. Sean Patel, who's the CEO and founder of Prep Expert, the title sponsor of the College Admissions Process podcast. Sean, you have a special message for the listeners?
Hey, John, I just wanted to mention for all the parents and students who are listening to this great podcast, we have a really special offer only for listeners of the College Admissions Process podcast for Prep Expert. So, if your student is going to be taking an online SAT, ACT, PSAT course anytime soon, or is looking for one on one tutoring with top 1% tutors, head over to prepexpert.com. We offer live online courses for every college admissions exam. On top of that, we have the best score guarantees, best curriculum, and best instructors in the test prep industry. And just for listeners of the College Admissions Process podcast, you can get 20% off any online SAT or PSAT or ACT course, as well as one-on-one tutoring. So you can get 20% off. Just make sure you use the promo code College Talk. That's one word, College Talk, and you'll get 20% off just for listeners of the College Admissions Process podcast. And I hope you guys can use that to your advantage, save a bunch of money at prepexpert.com.
Thank you so much, Sean. And to everyone out there, once again, that promo code is College Talk. That's one word, College Talk. Thank you all, and best wishes. Welcome to The Cap, where we are here to speak with college reps and other professionals in the field of college admissions to help answer all your questions and guide you through every step of the process. So if you're serious about college admissions, you've come to the right place. Are you ready? Let's talk about it. And now, here's your host, Dr. John Durante. Welcome to The Cap, the College Admissions Process podcast. I am your host, John Durante, and it gives me great pleasure to introduce to you today Meg Werth, who's the Assistant Director at the Rochester Institute of Technology, also known fondly as RIT. Meg, it is so great to have you here today. How are you?
I'm good, John. I'm excited to be a guest on this podcast. So thank you for having me.
It is our honor, our pleasure, and I'm equally as excited. So, Meg, the last time we had RIT on the podcast, it was for episode 67, which was released back in September of 2022. What can you share in terms of any changes at RIT since that last episode?
Yeah, a lot has changed since the last episode. RIT is always evolving. That's one of the things I love the most about RIT. And one of the major changes since 2022 is the opening of a building on our campus called The Shed. And The Shed is short for the Student Hall for Exploration and Development. And it's really a space that brings together art and technology. We have a lot of students on our campus that have both the left brain and the right brain, lots of strengths and interests outside of the classroom as well. So this is a space where students come together, and it houses maker spaces, project team spaces, dance studios, rehearsal rooms, performing art theaters. And it's also a fully glass building right in the center of our campus. And our campus has a lot of brick buildings. We're actually known as Brick City. So it is one of the buildings that stands out because it's fully glass. But it's a great space. Whenever I walk through that space, there's always students doing homework, working on projects. And it's really the heart of our campus. So they have in these maker spaces, they have 3D printers, laser cutters, they have woodworking tools, a metal shop, and there's also areas for students to work on electronics, textiles, a printing room. So lots of hands-on opportunities in The Shed. The Shed was named by one of our alumni, John Durante. He graduated in 2022. He did new media design, and he is now a product designer at Spotify in New York City. So thanks to him, he gave The Shed the name that it has today.
Well, that's awesome. Thank you so much for the introduction. And it's always great to hear about new innovations and new building obviously RIT is a place that doesn't remain stagnant. You're always looking to improve upon the amazing community that you have. Now, RIT is known for combining academic rigor with hands-on experiential learning. Meg, how does this mission come to life in the daily experience of RIT students, both inside and outside of those amazing classrooms?
Yeah, absolutely. So, one of the main priorities of RIT is experiential learning. So, a lot of the courses will include labs, studio works, as well as capstone and design projects. And one of the major benefits of an RIT education is our co-op program. So, most students will complete multiple paid co-ops before they graduate. So for example, our engineering students, they graduate with a year of full-time paid work experience in their field. So they have 4 blocks of co-op that is built into their curriculum. And they can choose to co-op and try out different cities. They can go back home and do a co-op. They can stay in Rochester and do a co-op. And it allows them to have 4 different experiences in their field. It also connects them with employers. And while they're on their co-ops, they're not taking classes, they're not paying tuition, they are building up their experience, figuring out, what companies do I like? What types of jobs don't I like? And it's a really valuable experience because so many students have bachelor's degrees nowadays. It's important that you build up your resume. So being able to have these experiences on their resume before they graduate is really important. And then we also have an amazing career services center, and most colleges have career services centers. This is a huge benefit that not a lot of students take advantage of until they're later into their college career, but it is available to you as a first year student. And some of the things that the Career Services Center does is they're career coaches. They'll help you fix your resume. They'll help you with your LinkedIn. They'll help you if you want to figure out, is this the right career for me? Or do I want to change my career? They can help you with alumni networking, with interview practice. They run workshops. So I always tell all the students that come to our campus, whether you come to RIT or anywhere else, please utilize the Career Services Center on the campus because it is a huge benefit and it's part of the tuition that you're paying. And obviously, the end goal of a college education is to get a job, and these are the people that can help you, but they're especially beneficial to our students and help them with their co-ops, which is great.
Wow, we appreciate that. I love how you describe the multiple paid co-ops and how students have the options to do it in different cities based on what they like or don't like. But perhaps even more important is that when you're actually doing the co-op, you're going to learn exactly what makes you thrive, what makes you tick. And so it'll help you through your career services center find those pathways, those careers. So it really sounds like you have something in terms of helping students while they are there on your campus for the 4 years, but way beyond that, right, in terms of career development. So, Meg, I was curious, when reviewing applications, what qualities or attributes signal that a student would be a strong fit for RIT's dynamic, tech-forward, and innovation-driven environment?
Yeah. So some of the things that we look for are meaningful extracurriculars in the areas of the student's passion or interest. We also look for success and rigor in courses that are most related to that student's academic area of interest, as well as any electives in the area of interest that are offered by the school. And then, of course, if the student has participated in projects or has been in any clubs or sports or worked at certain jobs that reflect that as well.
Well, that's awesome. Obviously, you're looking for students that are able to handle the work on your campus because not only do you want to build an awesome community, but you want to make sure that the students are set up for success so that they graduate and go into the many, many great fields that they go into. but also I appreciate you talking about looking at their meaningful extracurricular experience at the high school level, which will help determine whether or not they're serious about entering whichever fields once they're on your amazing campus at RIT. Now, how does RIT's unique blend of technology, design, liberal arts, and business prepare students for evolving industries and interdisciplinary careers? Are there any programs or concentrations that truly showcase this integration?
Yeah, that's a really wonderful question, and it's an important one to consider for students when they're looking at what the right fit um, when they select which college they're attending. And one amazing thing about RIT is that we have something called new economy majors. And this is in response to rapid changes in the workforce. RIT created a new category of academic programs called New Economy Majors, and these majors are multidisciplinary, and it's to ensure successful outcomes while meeting the ever-changing needs of our economy. So they kind of are a mix between classic majors and specialized majors. They're future focused and they're in demand. So by concentrating on high growth industries and the skills and knowledge and cooperative education experiences in demand by employers, they position these students for success in the evolving workforce. And the collective outcome rate of our new economy majors is 94%. Humanities, computing, and design is one of them, and that is interdisciplinary. It combines writing, computing, and digital media. We have human-centered computing, which is a combination of computing, psychology, and design. We offer imaging science, which is engineering, computer science, and math. We have microelectronic engineering. This is engineering, physics, and nanosciences. Motion picture science. This is science, engineering, and film and animation. New media interactive development. We have new media design. We have packaging science, photographic science, and robotics and manufacturing engineering technology. So those are our new economy majors that are wonderful. Another thing that we offer, which is really exciting for students, is something called an immersion. And this is a requirement for all RIT students, but basically what it is it's a sequence of 3 courses in a topic outside of your major. So, a lot of students go to college and maybe they feel tunnel vision on just the major that they're studying. The immersion allows students to pick a topic that can complement their major or just something that is completely unrelated, but they have an interest in and be able to study that further.
Well, that's awesome. I really appreciate the explanation of the new economy majors, which is in response to the ever-changing global workforce, but also the immersion program so that you're mindful of, yes, students have a particular pathway, have a particular major, but if they want to supplement that or they want something more, that's where they get to do that through the immersion program. Now, our listeners for sure want to hear more about that application review process. So, Meg, as a test optional institution, how does RIT guide students in deciding whether or not to submit SAT or ACT scores, and how are test optional applicants reviewed during the admissions process?
Yeah, that's a great question, and it definitely varies by institution. Here at RIT, we have what's called an academic profile. So if a student just Google searches RIT academic profile, a PDF will show up, and that will show our students based on the major that they're applying to or the college that they're applying to. It will show a range in SAT and ACT scores of the average accepted student. So I tell students, we guide students that if you fall within that range or higher to submit that score. If not, it's actually more beneficial to you to leave it off. And again, if you submit a score, whether it is within that range or below that range, we take that into consideration. But you are not at any disadvantage if you choose not to submit an SAT or ACT score. Also on the academic profile, we list any high school prerequisites needed for math and science. And then we also have a GPA range. We don't have a GPA requirement for admission, but it does give students a good idea of, the average accepted student's GPA for that particular program.
Well, I appreciate you pointing to your website and the RIT academic profile and how it's broken down by intended college or major. Many times students neglect to really research the college's website, which is absolutely full with the latest and greatest information. So again, we appreciate you mentioning that, Meg. And given the variety of strong programs at RIT, from engineering and computer science to photography, game design, and so much more, how should a student communicate their interest in a specific program on their application? And does applying undecided impact their overall review?
Good question. So students can list their top 2 majors that they're interested in when they apply to RIT. RIT has direct entry, so when you apply, if you're accepted, you are automatically accepted into that program, rather than, some schools you're accepted into the college and then you declare the major. At RIT, you're accepted right into that major. And then we also offer exploration programs. So this is a really great opportunity for first year students that know the area that they want to study, but not the specific major. So we have art exploration, business exploration, engineering, computing, liberal arts, engineering technology, photographic arts and sciences, all have their own exploration program. So for the first year, the students will learn about all the different majors that are offered in that college. And then at the end of their first year, they can pick which major they would like to pursue moving forward. So it's a really great way because, for example, our engineering school has so many different types of engineering. And during the first year, they're allowed to explore these different types of engineering, talk with faculty, learn a bit about the career outcomes, and weigh their options. And when you're in the exploration programs, you do not fall behind. It keeps you on track as if you were to declare a major initially. And then you can also apply directly to these exploration programs. So you can list engineering exploration or liberal arts exploration or business exploration on your application when you apply to RIT.
Well, I appreciate you explaining, first of all, the fact that students can list 2 majors, but perhaps more important, because this applies to so many students, is how you explained your exploration program, which is typically for students who have an idea of the area of what they want to study, but not necessarily the specific major. You gave the example of your engineering program, which has lots of branches underneath the title of engineering. So that's terrific, Meg. We appreciate it. And RIT has several global campuses, including in Croatia, Dubai, Kosovo, and China. Meg, what international opportunities exist for undergraduates, and how do they fit into a student's overall academic journey?
Great question. So, college is a great time to explore new interests, new hobbies, meet new people, but there's also opportunities to travel. During this time, you do have free time and the ability to do so. So we do have global campuses, as you had mentioned. Students can spend a semester or more at RIT's global campuses if they would like to. This is really nice because it's the same cost as if you were going to the Rochester campus. And then obviously because it's a RIT campus, you don't have to deal with any of the transfer credits that you might have to if you do traditional study abroad. And then of course we do offer traditional study abroad, so you can work with our study abroad office for guidance on that. But pretty much any country you can think of, there's a study abroad opportunity. And We also have faculty-led study abroad programs. These are typically short-term international experiences that are led by RIT faculty. These usually happen during summer or breaks, and they focus on a specific topic or project. For our mechanical engineering students, there is one faculty-led study abroad program where they go to Germany and they'll go to Porsche and BMW and different car companies and study what it's like to work in that type of setting. And then we also have international research and co-op opportunities. So students can gain global work experience through international co-ops or research partnerships with universities and companies abroad.
Well, that's terrific. It's great to hear, about your global brand and the multiple opportunities for students to study abroad. And one more question about the application review process, Meg. What makes an applicant's personal statement stand out to your admissions team? And are there common themes that resonate more with your mission and values? In other words, we just talked about all of these global campuses that you have. So if a student is able to articulate that they understand your mission and your philosophy as it relates to being a global brand, is that going to help them in the overall process when it comes to the essay?
That's a good question. So the essay is one of many factors in the application review process. And this is really an opportunity for students to tell their personal story, including any challenges that they may have faced personally as well as academically. Sometimes, we see on their transcript that their grades have dropped lower, and the essay is a good opportunity to let us know why instead of us guessing or not knowing why. And then it's also an opportunity to talk about your passions and your interests. So if, going to a global campus is one of those and you've done your research, that RIT has global campuses and it's, you're someone that would like to experience that, that's always going to be a great thing to include in an essay. And then, these essays, they help us learn more about you, help us get a full picture of who you are. And it should be more about you and, not as repetitive. Like, we can see your transcript and what you do with your extracurriculars and your activities. We see that on the application. So this is a time to add something new to your application as well. And just be genuine and be yourself when you're writing this essay, and don't overthink it too much. But this is a great opportunity to also talk about, you had mentioned earlier, how can a student communicate their interest in a specific program? This is also a great opportunity to do that.
Hey, podcast friends, if you've been enjoying the College Admissions Process podcast, I'm excited to share my new book, Straight from the Admissions Office, Insider Strategies for College Applications. It's packed with insights and tips from over 250 podcast episodes with admissions professionals designed to make the college process less overwhelming. Whether you're a student, parent, or college counselor, it's a valuable resource for navigating the admissions process. By grabbing a copy, you're also helping to support the podcast. The links are in the show notes. Thank you, and best wishes to all with the college admissions process. Well, that's tremendous advice. And Meg, how does RIT approach merit-based scholarships and need-based aid? And what advice do you have for families navigating the financial aid and scholarship landscape at your institution, as this is a topic that is so near and dear in terms of affordability for so many students and their families?
Yeah, absolutely. So all students will be automatically considered for our merit-based scholarship. And these scholarships renew automatically each year. There's no GPA requirement needed to keep these merit-based scholarships, and there's no separate application. So if you apply, you'll be automatically considered. And regardless of the decision plan, so we have early decision, early action, and regular decision here at RIT. Regardless of the decision plan you choose, you will have full consideration of scholarships. And then obviously, when in doubt, it's always encouraged to submit your FAFSA. A lot of students and families don't do this, but you don't know your aid until you submit your FAFSA. And then my biggest piece of advice here at RIT, we have such an amazing financial aid and scholarships office with wonderful counselors that work over there, and they are here to help. So if students have questions, if parents have questions, give us a call, reach out to admissions. We can connect you to financial aid. There's ways to set up appointments to speak with them. You can come to campus and meet with them. So it can be very confusing, and we want to do our best to help clarify that. And we always encourage conversations with admissions or financial aid about affordability concerns as well, because obviously we want to give as many students the opportunity to study here, regardless of finances. So please come talk to us if, RIT is your dream school and you have affordability concerns, because we want to help.
Well, that's awesome. And you are admissions counselors. You want to admit everyone. You want to help everyone. You're not rejection counselors, and you certainly want to guide them also, whether it comes to the academics or the financial aid portion of the college admissions process. And I love how you explained that students will be given full consideration for scholarships, regardless of whether they applied regular decision, early action, or what have you. So thank you for sharing that. And Meg, what are some of RIT's current institutional priorities when shaping the incoming class, whether that's related to academic interests, geographic diversity, or student engagement goals?
Good question. So one of RIT's key priorities when shaping the incoming class is attracting students who are truly invested in their own success, whether that's academically, personally, or professionally. We're looking for students who are eager to grow both in and outside of the classroom. The students on our campus take initiative in their academic journey. They engage in campus life. They seek out leadership opportunities, participate in co-curricular activities, and they're intentional about developing the skills and experiences that will prepare them for meaningful careers.
Well, that's terrific. Now, have you seen any trends among standout applicants in recent years, whether through their project work, leadership, community service, or how they present their interest in innovation and technology?
Yeah, so all those things that you mentioned are important. We have seen a lot of students that have worked on entrepreneur-based projects, whether that is with other students in their high school, or they've worked with mentors, or they've had a business plan that they've been working on. And that is wonderful because we also have on campus the Simone Center for Innovation and Entrepreneurship. And this is a center that supports student startups and product development. So that's taken into consideration and always noted when it's mentioned. And then we also have seen a lot of students mention their they participate in performing arts. And here at RIT, we have a performing arts scholars program. So we have over 2,000 students that participate in performing arts here, whether that is musical theater, dance, instrument, costume design, tech crew. We offer a scholarship for participation in performing arts, which is really great. So we have a lot of students that have that interest outside of the classroom, and we note that when they mention that. And then we also see an uptick in advanced rigor of classwork, so AP, IB, honors, dual enrollment as well.
Well, thank you so much for the overview. Meg, this has been a phenomenal conversation. By the way, you probably know I always put the Office of Undergraduate Admissions in the show notes. If there's anything that you want to add to the show notes, you covered so much. Just send it to me, and of course, I'll make it available to our listeners. You're awesome. Unfortunately, it leads us to that last question, Meg, which is, what are your top 3 pieces of advice you would provide students and their families getting ready for the college admissions process?
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. This has been great to talk a bit about RIT and to talk with you as well. I know I'll be coming down to your high school and talking with your students in the fall, so they're always wonderful. But I would say my top 3 pieces of advice would be start early in the college research process. Look through the programs, look through the clubs and activities. if you can go visit campuses, that's really important. Reach out to admissions representatives. We're always happy to help answer any questions or help, sit with you and decide what major you want to apply to and what you think you want to do. You can come to us with having no idea and leave the conversation, having a better idea. So stay organized, keep track of deadlines and requirements to reduce your stress during this time. It's senior year, there's a lot going on. All the colleges have different deadlines, so make a Google Sheet or a Google Doc and keep track of those deadlines. Focus on finding a college that's the right fit, not just based on rankings or sticker price, but on academic interests, campus culture, and personal goals. And like I had mentioned before, a campus visit is highly recommended to help determine the fit, if it's the right fit for you. And then, of course, be authentic in your applications and use your voice to share what makes you unique.
Well, Meg, those are tremendous pieces of advice. Obviously, RIT is so fortunate to have you, as were we, during this podcast episode. I look forward to having you again in the future, Meg. You're awesome. Thank you so much.
Thanks, John.
My pleasure. And to everyone out there, good luck with the college search. Take care all, and best wishes. Thank you for joining us on this episode of The CAP, the College Admissions Process Podcast. We hope you enjoyed the show. If you did, please don't forget to tell a friend and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and wherever you listen to your podcasts. I am your host, John Durante, and I look forward to seeing you on the next episode of The CAP. Thank you for listening to the College Admissions Process Podcast presented by Prep Expert. Prep Expert offers live online SAT and ACT courses with the best score guarantees, instructors, and curriculum. Go to prepexpert.com to guarantee your child's success.